What was really important to me is that, my health didn't just impact me. I'm one person, and maybe in a lot of medical settings, I'm just a patient, but I'm so much more than that. I'm a mother of 2 girls. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister. And I didn't feel valued in any of those capacities anywhere else I've been. And I really felt like the staff at Sunridge Medical understood that my life was important. And I know that sounds really silly, but I can tell you every other doctor's office I've been into when dealing with a stage 3 cancer diagnosis, it seemed like they treated it like it was like the common cold or something, like it didn't really even matter. Like my life didn't really matter. And I gotta tell you, there are college graduations that I want to be at. There's weddings, there's grandbabies, and I want to be with my husband. I want to care for him like he's cared for me. And I want as much time together as we can possibly get. And that's the biggest gift that I've gotten from Dr. Franco and Sunridge Medical, is more days ahead, more hope, and more security in my health and every day that goes by. And I'm just so very grateful for that. Hi, I'm Marika from Indiana, and 3 years ago I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I didn't have a real great experience. I had had 4 mammograms that had been all clear, and I had found a lump in my breast, and the doctor told me that it wasn't anything to be worried about. It was finally my own intuition that led me to push my doctor to get a biopsy. And at that point I found out that I had stage 3 breast cancer, which was, as you can imagine, pretty devastating. My confidence was just kind of gone. I thought I'd always done all the right things and followed their directions, and now here I was 4 years later with a stage 3 diagnosis, which is pretty scary. They told me if I did chemotherapy and radiation and hormone therapy and surgery, that in 5 years I would have a 61% chance of being alive. That's with conventional therapy. And to me, that was no better than flipping a coin. If I'm going to put myself through that, and it's not just about me, there's a lot of suffering involved, and it's not just limited to the patient. My family would have to deal with that as well. And for 61% chance of being alive in 5 years, I just felt like I could find a better way. I kind of decided to take things into my own hands, and for the first couple years I did all right, and then I had another lump in my breast, and I really didn't know what to do. It seemed like the doctors at home kind of thought, if you weren't going to do chemotherapy, that they weren't even going to treat you. So I felt very alone and very isolated, and quite frankly, I was silently pretty desperate. I didn't really want people to know how afraid I was, because I didn't want them to worry. My parents, my daughters, my husband. So I kind of kept a lot of that inside and just tried to do more and try harder to be as healthy as I could. But I guess inside I kind of knew that I was gonna die. I was on the verge of going to Mexico. I finally got a real clear moment where I knew I had to do something else, and it was going to have to be outside of where I lived. My family was supportive of this, but they were also, pretty worried. It's a different country, different laws, different accountability, and who knows what the medical procedures are over there. Although they were supportive, my mom sent me an email and said, "Have you heard of Sunridge Medical?" And to be honest, I was a little irritated because I had already made up my mind to go to Mexico, and I didn't want to start down now yet another road. But I decided it was the right thing to do, to investigate all my choices to make sure I was making the right one. After all my life was on the line, I went to the website and I watched videos just like the ones you're watching right now, and they really connected with me. They really made me feel like I wasn't alone in what I was dealing with, and I knew almost instantly that Sunridge was the place that I needed to be. One of the things I really liked about the approach here at Sunridge is that everything they were going to do to help me get better was about building my body up. That's what the whole thing is about, is not so necessarily like crushing the disease that's in your body, but making your body so strong that it can take care of the disease itself. As it turned out, Dr. Franco kind of went through my whole life's history in terms of my health, and my health problems today were not limited or didn't start with my cancer diagnosis. They went back way before that. And Dr. Franco was able to run tests that nobody had ever ordered before for me and really figure out what was going on and determine what needed to be repaired in my body to put it in such a state that it could get well again. And what I thought was really cool about Sunridge is that, you see people here that are dealing with all types of different conditions, all in the same situation. All of them want to get their life back. And it's a pretty neat, healing environment to know that we're all getting better together. I miss my family, but in a way, being here, getting treatment, being able to focus on myself and my healing was really the most important way I could have spent that time. So when I got that email from my mom to go to Sunridge, and I watched the videos like you're watching now, and these were real people that weren't just patients, they were moms, they were wives of people that loved them and needed them in their lives. And I wanted to be there too. I wanted to be there for my family. And I decided that I really didn't just want to live for that trip that I could fit in this month. I wanted to live for those trips that I could have for the rest of my life. And I wanted to be there for my family and watch my girls grow up and be with my husband. And I really feel like Dr. Franco and Sunridge Medical have given me the ability to have that in my life.